Hi Vishnu sir, and welcome to Filmfare Middle East.
Thank you.
We have seen the trailer of Kannappa and it is looking fabulous.
Thank you.
You have mounted it on such an epic scale. So begin with, what was the biggest challenge, when you plan a movie of this magnitude, especially when the topic itself is also a little sensitive also, and also, it involves much more things than just a commercial aspect.
Challenges per se, when of Kannappa, if you ask me, the biggest challenge for me was the VFX. I kind of believe that I could have hired a far superior team than the one which we have. The film would have been out at least a year ahead of the release. At last August I would have released it, because I had a very basic, it's an expensive lesson which I've learned. But the other point which you said is, is a very interesting thing when you said about the sensitive subject. Making a movie on God is not a sensitive thing. It is our history. We should own it, and we should be proud to tell our stories rather than not feel scared about, oh, it's a sensitive subject, let's not do it. That should not be the case. The more we start looking at it like a sensitive subject, then going forward we will not be able to tell a lot of stories about our gods, our history. That is a sad thing. People should realize it. But I believe that if you do anything with with diction and conviction, it should be okay.
No, I completely agree, because these are stories that need to be told generation after generation. They have been passed down to us, and I think it only makes sense for us to kind of
in the last 50 years, in the last 40 years, we haven't really brought out a lot of devotional projects.
Right.
And I think I wouldn't call this purely a devotional project, but I would rather say that this is a project which will resonate for every human being, because it transcends Hinduism, it transcends any religion.
Right.
It shows what devotion is, and that's what is the underlying thing. See, there'll be a lot of people, like some people might believe Allah, some people might believe Jesus. I believe Lord Shiva. And underlying common thing for all of us is we all have devotion. Every one of us show it in a different way. And this is a common language spoken in the movie.
Right. But I must say, when we saw the trailer, to be very honest, it didn't exactly, of course it's at the core. The story is at the core about, a devotee and his love for his God in a very humane way.
Yes.
But
that's the legend of Kannappa.
Yes, that is the legend of Kannappa, but it's also got a lot of entertainment aspects all around it.
Of course, I have to show
it. Woven in the story, action, a lot
that's
of
all.
elements.
That's all fiction. I kind of wrote that because the story of Kannappa is not known other than the last bit of his. When an atheist becomes a God's devotee and God decides to test him, and he gives his eyes to God as a symbol of devotion and love. But who was he? What was he? What was his earlier story? What could have happened? So all these were an open canvas for me, which I could paint, and that's what I did.
Well, you have painted beautifully, because it's exciting. Of course, it's already up our curiosity level where we want to see what's also happening around.
Thank you.
I think with that you also tapped the generation, because they want something more. If you just go out and make a story and you say that, okay, this is only telling you a story from a certain point, it may not interest. But when you say that it's a story to be told like a story, I think it grabs a lot more interest than.
True.
So I think that is beautiful. And also your son has made a debut.
Oh yes. My daughters also, they sang a song and they performed in the very beginning of the movie.
Wow.
And they're the twins, Ariana and Viviana.
Yes.
And Avram made his debut in the movie as my younger version.
You were how old? Like, you had made your debut with
I was, I guess I was, I was 2 years or something. But my son actually played a far lengthier role and far superior than what I was there back then.
Wow. So this is like 3 generations in one movie?
Yes.
How amazing. But you come from such a legendary film family, so to say. So do your along the journey, has have your choices been kind of defined by what, by taking forward the legacy?
Not many people realize, they talk about nepotism and all this stuff, but they don't realize the weight we carry from our self-made parents, from our fathers or mothers. They're all self-made. I was born with a silver spoon, but my mentally it messes you up when you're constantly compared to your father. My father's a different person. Yeah, he's done close to 600 films and he's a legend and all this stuff, but I'm a different person. I need time to do what I need to do. But constant comparison right from day one is always taxing. And am I as good as my father? Time will tell. I can't immediately open up and say no. It can't be that way. But if I do not have the talent, I wouldn't be surviving in the industry for the last 20 years.
No, of course.
That's so that's the reason why the nepotism angle does not really, I don't, hold, that argument does not hold much water in it.
Absolutely. But to see Mohan Babu Garu with you again on screen, it's going to be, of course,
that's going to be one of the biggest highlights of the movie.
Absolutely. But you have a stellar cast in terms of, there's Akshay sir, there's Mohanlal sir, of course. So how was
I've been really fortunate to have acted with Mr. Akshay Kumar, Mr. Prabhas, and my childhood hero, Mr. Mohanlal. I'm grateful for each and every one of them for having accepted. Mr. Sarat Kumar also for having accepted to do the role in the movie. I'm really grateful for each and every one of them.
Right. Currently everyone's talking about, the entire flavor is talking about pan-India. Now you're not looking at only making movies for a certain region. Now they're going, not just pan-India, they're going global. So when you are making a movie and when you're casting actors, is that somewhere in your mind that it might?
Not really, but casting Mr. Akshay Kumar was to resonate with the northern audience. It makes me movie relatable for them. Because they might know me because of my dubbed films, but
of course,
for them to come and sit in the theater and watch it, it should be even more exciting, a relatable face. Tomorrow, with the success of Kannappa, I pray and hope that I'll become a relatable face for them.
Of course. I mean, I think the way the trailer has been talked about and, the movie is being waited for, it's very highly anticipated. So I think it's already creating a lot of good buzz. But also, the entire premise that you have set it in and balancing out, like you said earlier, you balance it out with a lot of entertainment factors as well. So at any point, was it a doubt, will this resonate with the younger generation?
No, we were very focused on what, this is how it's going to be. We debated a lot, during the scripting stages, when the corrections and the, script doctoring stages, we were, debating a lot. Once we all fell on a line, we decided, this is what it's going to go, and let's hit it.
Right. But you're also a lot into academics, like, your own education institute.
Yeah, I'm the pro-chancellor of Mohan Babu University.
Absolutely. And your wife is also associate. She's a director.
She has her own, school, New York Academy, which is a progressive American school in Hyderabad. Apart from that, my wife Vinny, she owns Maison Eva, which is children's couture clothing brand, which she's the first Indian designer to be in Harrods in the 175-year-old history of Harrods, London. And she's right now in 14 countries and in 47 outlets. I don't try to match up with her. That's an area where I don't know much, but she's one of the fastest growing children's brand in the world.
Wow. I can imagine what a power-packed dinner table conversations you all must be
having. No, it's all about the dinner table conversations, anything but, business or movies, nothing. We just talk about, my daughter's being like, my son is like, he's not eating the greens. The youngest one, they take turns and troubling us at the dining table. So, for me, family time is a very, very private time. Mm-hmm. And nobody is allowed to disturb us. We don't have our phones on the table. It's it is like a ritual for us. It's like devotional ritual for us. We do not dinner, breakfast, the family must have together.
So what is Vishnu Manchu like when he's not in front of the cameras?
Oh, he's a monkey. I have too many responsibilities, which I can't be known as a monkey outside. But a lot of people look up to me for being responsible. But deep in my heart, I am a monkey.
Wow. But when you have kids, I'm sure you must have had them somewhere in your mind, even when scripting this movie.
Not really. Avram, I knew that there's a younger version we wanted him to play, but Avram wasn't even born when I started writing the script.
No, I meant in the sense that, keeping that the kids' generation in mind, kind of a thing.
Yes.
Like as a father, you would want them to be brought up on stories
100%,
like this.
100%. So that's the reason why, we made comic books of this and we gave it to a lot of people. The reason I'm making Kannappa is for the next generation to understand the history about our legend, Kannappa. Out of the 63 greatest Shiva devotees who are called Nayanars, he's number 13.
Wow.
So a tribal man becoming one of Lord Shiva's greatest devotee is a story which needs to be told.
Absolutely, and I'm so glad because the more filmmakers and the more actors who kind of present these kind of stories, the more we get a chance to know our own history. Because I'm sure a lot of people are not aware of.
They're not.
Like they may know of the names, but they're not aware
See,
of the
South is very well.
backstories.
South knows about Kannappa, but the North Indian audience don't know much about Kannappa. But with this movie, I hope this generation across the country they get to know about Kannappa.
Right. Coming back to a very basic question, as an actor, you've been an actor for more than 2 decades now. So what is it that immediately makes you draw or say a yes to a movie? What interests you after so many years? Like there must be something.
Something which probably I relate to in a script. Something I relate to, something which excites me. Is it the storyline, or something about the character which excites me a lot? I think basically the character of the lead actor, which excites me to say yes to a script.
Lovely. And what about direction? Because you have such a great vision. We've seen.
Right now I'm not in the frame. I don't know why Mr. Akshay Kumar and Mr. Mohanlal believe that I can direct, but Mr. Akshay Kumar in the other interviews also he said, "Mark my words, he'll be directing very soon." I was like, no, where did that come from? Because I wrote the script, I was hands-on with this project. He saw me hands-on on the project. So probably that's his idea.
But Mr. Akshay has been very spot on when it comes to getting the talents and spotting that in a person. So
I don't know.
you never know.
I know. But one thing in life I learned is that never say never. If I say that I'll never direct, tomorrow I might end up directing. And if I say tomorrow I might direct, I might never end up directing. You never know. You never know. So it's like, let's go with life, in the flow it's going on with.
Right. You've seen your dad being a part of this industry. You are a part of this industry. What is that, one lesson that you have probably kind of made it like your core through the journey? Like this is what...
Discipline and dedication to the art. Without dedication and discipline, I don't think you can succeed in any field you pick up. There will be people who are far more talented than me. But if they are not disciplined, they wouldn't even find a spot. And there are, and respect the art.
Lovely. I have 5 very quick questions for you. Okay, so if you could be one character for a day from any of your movies, who would it be?
The character D, Bablu from the movie D.
Okay. And what is your guilty pleasure?
Chocolates.
And one thing that your fans do not know about you?
That I'm a very boring person.
You call yourself a monkey and then you're saying you're a boring person.
Oh, yeah, I don't party a lot. For me, entertainment is all about sports, reading books, movies, or bantering with friends. Other than that, I'm very boring.
Okay, I will not agree, but okay, fine if you insist. But if there was a book written on your life, what would you want to name it?
What would I lie? The autobiography of a boring person. That would be probably the title.
Okay, and if there was one advice you'd want to give to your children, as a dad, as an actor, as part of this industry, as an academician, what would it be?
Mata Pita Guru Daivam.
Perfect.
Because if we do not have the fundamentals, these are the fundamentals I very strongly believe in. If these four, if a mother, father, teacher, and God are not on the priority list for us, then we are lost.
Wow. So, you must have been brought up on a very different set of discipline and rules by your parents. How are you as a parent to your kids? Is it like...
After becoming a father, I just realized that, what all my father had done. And if I'm 10% of what my father was to me, if I'm 10% to my kids, I think I'll be a great father.
Lovely. Now, on that note, thank you so much for talking to us on Filmfare Middle East.
Thank you.
And wish you all the best for Kannappa.
I know, June 27th, it's coming down and it's giving me, palpitations in my heart, out of anxiety.
Really, even after so many years, you have...
this is like my first film. Kannappa is like my first film. So, I am waiting for the audience to see it, and it's one of my most ambitious films. So, we are racing against time to finish the film even now, and I hope all of you love it.
Of course you will, and we are looking forward to it. So, all the best for it.
Thank you.
And may you continue doing many, many more such epic movies.
Thank you. Right.